everyone. Welcome to our October 2021 edition of What's Up in the Sky. I'm Dr. Derek Lim, and joining me is again the usual Mr. CK Lim and Grace Lee. Thank you for joining us. I myself am Dr. Lim, and we hope to give you a great overview of what you can see in the night sky for the month of October. So I'll start, with talking about the evening sky in October 2021. We head off October 2021 with the new moon occurring on October 6th. During the early days of the month of October, the Milky Way's galactic core arcs high overhead, west of the meridian, right after sunset, as it continues its march westwards. In about 2 months, the Earth's orbital motion around the Sun will place the galactic core behind the Sun from the Earth's vantage point. A 3-day-old waxing crescent moon meets Venus and Antares on the October 9th and 10th. It is always very interesting to ponder the relative distances when these planets come close to stars. And not to mention, in this event, we have the Moon, Venus, and Antares. And the Moon is a mere 1.21 light seconds away, which is actually still very far. It takes about 6 months if you're driving to the moon at about 120 kilometers per hour. So, but for light, which travels around the Earth 7.5 times in 1 second, it only takes 1.21 seconds to reach the moon. Okay, and Venus will be 6.78 light minutes away. Okay, so light takes 6.78 minutes to get from Venus to the Earth. Compare these two to Antares at 550 light years away. Antares is a red supergiant right now. If you remove the sun and put Antares in its place, the whole star will swallow the Earth's orbit. So that's how big and luminous Antares is. As the moon waxes, it will make rendezvous with the planet Saturn on the 14th of October, and on the next day with Jupiter on the 15th of October. These meetups are actually always very interesting because when the moon gets close to these planets, there's always a chance somewhere on Earth that the moon is occulting the planet, which means that the moon kind of glides in front of the planet. Unfortunately for us, this is not happening either for Saturn or Jupiter this month. So we'll have to wait, but the event will come sometime in the future. And if you're noticing our planetarium display, a sharp-eyed observer may actually notice that the planet Venus is also creeping closer and closer to the star Antares. On the 16th of October, a day after the moon meets with Jupiter, you can now turn your attention back to the western sky to see Venus and Antares pairing up pretty close, about 1.5 degrees apart or about 3 full moon widths. On October 20th, we'll have the full moon, and this full moon is also known as the Hunter's Moon, which actually, according to ancient lore, is a night where the hunters can hunt for prey because after last month's harvest moon, a lot of the crops have been harvested and a lot of the plant stalks are left behind, dried grass, barren lands, and little animals like foxes and wolves that run around can be easily seen, and a hunter can easily hunt them under the bright moonlight. And finally, on October 30th, watch for Venus as it reaches its greatest eastern elongation for this evening star cycle, meaning that Venus will be at its furthest point from the Sun as viewed from the Earth. And beyond October 30th, the separation distance between the Sun and Venus will get closer and closer again. It's actually approaching the Earth in its orbit. And the phase of Venus on October 30th is about a half phase. And as it comes closer and closer towards the Earth in its orbit, it'll start to turn into a crescent and its phase will be waning and becomes a smaller and smaller crescent, but the planet's size will grow bigger and bigger. And now I'll pass it to Grace to share with everyone what's up in the sky, in the morning sky.
Hello everyone, I'm Grace. I'll talk about the morning sky. Moon begins the month past its third quarter phase and gradually waning into the early morning twilight. Between the new moon on October 6th and the full moon on October 20th, early morning risers are treated to splendid view of the winter constellations. Look for Orion's Taurus, Gemini, Auriga, Canis Major, and Canis Minor. Plus, if you are far away from city lights, the winter Milky Way cutting its way between the aforementioned constellations. An interesting object to keep your eyes out for is the Large Magellanic Cloud, appearing as a patch of light lurking just above the horizon to the southwest of Canopus. The Large Magellanic Cloud and its smaller sibling, the Small Magellanic Cloud, are satellite galaxies of our Milky Way galaxy. Early morning risers may also look for Mercury later in the month. Mercury will be low in the morning twilight just before sunrise and reaches its greatest western elongation on the 25th of October. We look for Mercury beginning approximately the 22nd of October, where it is nearing its maximum elongation, since the planet will be approximately a scant 8 degrees above the horizon at 6:30 a.m. It helps to use binoculars, however, be warned to be wary of the rising sun. Please be careful and do not observe the sun directly using binoculars. So now I will pass to CK Lim to talk about the interesting highlights of the month of October.
Thank you very much, Grace. Thanks for joining us. So for this month, I'm going to cover about the meteor. There are actually two meteor shower happening. One will be happening early of the month. This is the Draconids, and the peak is around the October 7 and 8. And actually, the radiant is a bit far north of the constellation of Draco, so that's why we name it Draconid. But this meteor shower is actually known also as Draconid because the parent comet is 21/P Draconid Xena. Okay, so Draconid Xena is actually name of I think two discoverer of the comet. The P actually stands for periodic, meaning it's coming in with a short period orbit. For this one, I believe it's a 6 year. So every 6 years, you'll be coming around. The Draconids are known to have a very sharp outburst. Okay, the recent one happening in 2018. And this outburst is usually coincide with the comet perihelion passage, means the comet is coming in. But the next perihelion passage will be in 2025. But for this year, the chance is not very high, but we'll still observe it, we may get lucky, okay? But there's another meteor shower, okay? This is much more famous than the Draconid. And this is the Orionid. The peak is on the October 21st. And normally we'll see about 10 to 20 per hour on the dark and moonless night. That means with a minimal light pollution. However, for this year, the Orionids will be occurring just one day after the full moon. So the bright moon will overpower most of the meteor, resulting in suboptimal viewing conditions for the meteor shower. On the side note, the meteor shower from the Orionids are in fact debris from the famous Halley's Comet. I believe we have heard of Halley's Comet before. And the last time Halley's Comet come around was in like 1986. Okay, but this debris from the Halley's Comet are responsible actually for two annual meteor showers. So the first one we know is the Orionid, but the other one is actually the Eta Aquarium, which happened in May every year. Okay, so that's the highlight for the October from my side. I pass it back to Dr. Derek Lim.
Thank you, CK. So, yeah, Uh, Unfortunately, the full moon will hamper the view of the meteor shower. But I think that nevertheless, it's also probably a good idea to just go and look anyways and see what we can see, right?
Oh, by the way, CK Lim, how to best observe meteor showers?
Okay, that's a good question. Yeah, there are a lot of people that are actually interested in viewing the meteor showers, but um, I believe most of them will probably thought that they need a telescope or binoculars. Okay, but meteor showers are actually best observed with naked eye. Okay, it's the best with the naked eye because we don't know where it's coming from, and the view from the telescope and binoculars are actually very small. So it is very, it is quite impossible for you to catch the meteor with the telescope. But with the naked eye, we can see more area, so you can catch. There are better chance to catch the meteor. A good tip will be go to a location far away from the city light. Okay, far away from the city light. Get a comfortable chair, a mosquito repellent, and sit back and just enjoy the view.
Then how about if I want to take a photograph of meteors or meteor showers? What should I do?
I can answer that, yes. So the basic way to photograph meteors or meteor shower is to use a relatively wide angle lens of about 18 to 35 millimeters, and and the lens should have a bright aperture of ideally about f2 or brighter, and mounted on a sturdy tripod. So for meteors in a meteor shower, you want to remember that they are they always appear to be emanating from a radiant. So it's like the Orionids, the meteors will be sort of like shooting out of the constellation of Orion. So what you can do is you can aim your camera, focus it on the stars of Orion, make Orion kind of in the center, and then open your shutter, try to open your aperture as wide as possible. Okay, and then open your shutter and then take a photo. Okay, the shutter exposure time can be about 15 to 30 seconds. Take many shots. Just keep taking the photo, and then if Orion rises a bit more, you can readjust your camera and aim it at Orion again, and then take more photos as you go. Okay, and hopefully you'll catch a meteor or two in your photos. Okay, good luck.
Okay, thank you.
So I think with this Q&A, it brings us to the end of our monthly What's Up in the Sky program. We are planning to add more to our What's Up in the Sky program in future sessions, so stay tuned. Meanwhile, if you have not liked and subscribed to the Astronomical Society of Penang channel, please do. Please do that right now before the Orionids come, okay, or before even the Draconids come. And hope to see you guys next month again. We hope our show was informative and enjoyable to you. Take care, clear skies, keep looking up.